that field cannot enter it. So Guru Padmasambhava, Tecumseh, and others recognize those places where the field in its direct contact with what is, no matter what is imposed upon it, cannot be disturbed. To do so would like crack an egg, and it's not possible. So let me finish this. So this place, it is like a mirror, and it reflects the open sky. It's a bowl, and people don't realize it, but you can hear at home, which is a mile away, I can hear people here on the land, especially if they stand by the labyrinth or the sacred fire, and also just outside this building. The energy of communication is very clearly flowing. So the configuration of this place is like Holy Mother place. And the water that arises here is what's called new water. It arises from the boundary of the warm material and the cooler material in the process of condensation. And as such, it is very supportive of life. So there are qualities of land itself, shape and form, that support spiritual practice, intellectual understanding, stability. And the place has no sectarianism. It just is. Before it was this, underneath, before the last glacial period, there were other temples here. Right in this area, there were temples here, many. And Hawaiian elders, when visiting, actually identify where and how, and with this new through the ground radar, I'm sure that they're being very carefully mapped. So the land awaits the ley line or energy potentials that are within, just as within our heart is the seed of direct perception. And as such, the land will carry the song of the people who are in good heart and good mind. And when the people are not of such good heart or mind, the ley lines actually become smaller and sink lower, just as the waterways do. So when people withhold love, when there's not caring, or there's disrespect for the feminine, the water goes deeper into the earth, and desertification usually follows the growing cultures of misogyny. So there are Christ grids or Buddha grids or this grid or that grid. There's energy potential, and our willingness to dedicate thought, word, and action to the wisdom and energy potential of those fields brings forth results. And then as you examine the 5 elements out of one's forms are arising, vibration first, or some would say ether, others sound. Ether is a name for the carrier wave on which that stirs the field of potential. And so the energy within the human body, the elements that give rise to our organ systems are also the same elements that energize the earth and have consciousness of exploration as well, and have arisen from this one source, and ultimately are linked. So the the appearance of Earth, the appearance of the galaxy, is the field seeking to understand itself. And does it begin? Does it end? Not actually. It has no beginning or end. And now, in terms of physics, it's becoming more clear that there are tendrils of potential, which we call strings or ropes, that hold the plate upon which creation is revealed. And they're constantly changing. So even at the most minute level of investigation, we see that it is about change. And how is it that it takes form in such a way that individuated consciousness as human beings may explore? It's amazing, because some suns are formed and they're too large or too small, and there are no planetary systems that arise them, or they die very quickly. So there's a certain dynamic of the right balance where Earth and human beings type of place can form. So Earth and human beings type of place is very rare. And in human beings, and also in certain other primates, and even the subatomic particles have mindful awareness. And it is said that the human being is very fortunate in that we can explore, and also we can forget. And it's that forgetting and rediscovery that is the wondrous journey, to rediscover, oh, we are this, we are not, we are luminosity. And to understand, as we examine the nature of form, how our body-mind appearance is interconnected with so many other appearances. And as you remove one aspect of appearance, if you didn't have a mother, you wouldn't have a body. You could still be an idea. You might exist in yet another realm. So you begin to notice the ways in which we are connected with the elements, and how the elements are streams of energy potential. And as we examine the elements and wind them, we see that they too are energy potential. So that is in response to Shan's question. It's probably not a good idea to ask me a question. Yeah. Yeah.
I think you had advised me, looking at the dynamics of torture, to pay attention to the pain and injury of the perpetrator, which may be out of consciousness and therefore fueling all kinds of crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're talking about the official from the Vatican and the Spanish government person
Mm-hmm.
who seemed to have a change of heart and mind, who seemed to play forward as healing,
Mm-hmm.
I was listening for how it was or wasn't addressed to embrace the suffering of the perpetrator.
It's not so much embrace or not embrace. It is to recognize that violence arises from violence. It is a cycle of confusion. And so in that instance, where the Bribri elders were able to return to their sacred place, where their great leader had been torn and quartered, they basically unlocked the door that superimposed a pattern of destruction. So what happens in the Vatican, how many years it took for the apology, that was like 87, 89. We had like 2 years of very intense activity there. And it set in motion unraveling of a thought form. And so the Bribri elders didn't say, you did this to us, you did that to us. They came and retuned the space with their prayer, thus dissolving a reactive pattern and bringing it to an end. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Changing the thought from the Vatican House to the that there's no hell, and that there's no hell,
Mm-hmm.
and
The Vatican said that? There's no hell, and we're sorry we were mistaken.
Yeah, they said purgatory is a mistake. That purgatory doesn't actually exist. It was like, oops, purgatory. Well, maybe about hell, but I also know about purgatory. I talked with my Catholic sister-in-law, and she said that the Vatican had announced that the perception of purgatory was a big mistake. That's my word, big mistake.
So we as human beings do indeed grow. The parameters of understanding become more transparent, and the pathways of remembrance are more clear, less rocky. How wonderful. So I'm saying a lot more than I intend to. So here we come to the conclusion of our morning session, and we'll return. I will be ready at 3:15. So wise you be seated first. Otherwise, I will wait outside until you are seated. So we dedicate the merit earned in this and all lives to the attainment of Buddha mind and the release of all sentient beings from suffering. We dedicate the merit earned in this and all lives to the attainment of Buddha mind and the release of all sentient beings from suffering. We dedicate the merit earned in this and all lives to the attainment of Buddha mind and the release of all sentient beings from suffering. So you'll have a good lunch. Yes. put it away so well. I know about the crazy queen already. I can be her often. So this afternoon we have slideshow, thoughts, images that are food for thought. And so have a good lunch.
Have a wonderful lunch.
Thank you. Yeah, I think because of the light, it might be better on that wall. We'll use the mirror. And we may need a couple of sheets for those two doors, or some kind of covering. Shall I bring sheets?
I
Just about caught up on the laundry this morning.
No, I'll try to figure it out beforehand. Thank you. That's great.
Good lunch.
Thank you.